Okay, let's dive into something a little unsettling. We're going to talk about why being polite might actually be financial suicide. I know, it sounds extreme, right? But what if the very thing we've all been taught as a virtue is actually a major liability? We're going to explore this idea that being nice could be a form of self-sabotage.
I mean, think about it. It's one of the first things we ever learn, right? Be nice, be polite, and good things will happen. It's kind of the bedrock of how we interact with each other. But what if that programming, that deep-seated instinct to just be agreeable, what if it's actually a trap, especially when money gets involved?
And look, on the surface, this makes total sense. We think of politeness as this social currency, It greases the wheels, it helps us build relationships, open doors. It really feels like a virtue, something that's just undeniably good.
But what happens if we step back and look at it from a completely different angle? If we kind of peel back that social layer and get a little colder, a little more analytical about it, well, a totally different picture starts to emerge. Its a real function might not be what we think it is. Not at all.
So check out this redefinition: politeness, a compliance mechanism that signals you are easy to manage and price. Wow, that's stark, isn't it? It's suggesting that politeness isn't really about respect, it's about sending a signal that says, I'm not going to cause any trouble, I'm manageable. And the big one, that your value is easy to set.
So let's unpack that a little bit, because it's a huge idea. The argument here is that in the world of transactions, in business, in your career, being too polite can be read subconsciously as having weak boundaries. It's not seen as kindness. It's seen as a quiet form of submission, a signal that, yeah, you'll probably just accept whatever terms are offered without putting up a fight.
Okay, so this brings up a massive question. If the system, the market, doesn't actually reward niceness, then what does it reward? What's the real currency here? What's the one thing that's truly valued?
Well, the answer is that the market operates on a totally different logic. It's kind of primal. It's not a social club where everyone's trying to be friends. Nope. It's an arena of value. And being agreeable doesn't score you any points in that arena. The only thing that matters is what you can actually do, your tangible contribution. And that leads us to this quote: "The market doesn't reward good people. It rewards useful people who cannot be ignored." Just let that sit for a second. The whole focus shifts, right? It's not about being a good person, morally. It's about being functionally necessary. It's a shift from wanting to be liked to needing to be, well, needed.
So this really splits things into two different kinds of archetypes, two different ways of being. You've got the good person, who plays by all the social rules, and then you have the useful person, who plays by the market's rules. And believe me, the differences between these two are absolutely critical.
So let's look at this side by side. The good person, they're all about signaling compliance, keeping the peace. But the useful person, they signal value. They solve problems. See the difference? One person is aiming to please everyone, while the other is aiming to get things done. And the result? Well, the good person is easy to manage, easy to put a price tag on. The useful person, they become someone you just can't ignore. They're indispensable. Now, let's be really clear about something. This is not, and I repeat, not an argument for being a jerk. That's a total misreading of this idea. The whole point is about a strategic shift. It's about taking all that energy you might spend on being agreeable and polite and redirecting it, focusing it on becoming indispensable, on building skills that are so valuable that whether people like you or not becomes secondary to the fact that they need you. And really, when you get down to it, this is an invitation to do some real introspection, to look at our own programming. You have to ask yourself, why am I polite? Is it coming from a place of genuine respect? Or is it maybe a strategy based on a fear of conflict, a desire to just be accepted? What are the unspoken rules that you're following, and who do those rules actually benefit?
Which leaves us with one final and kind of haunting question to think about. If we go along with this idea that politeness can be a kind of currency, a currency of compliance and agreeableness, then you have to ask yourself, who exactly are you paying with it? And maybe more importantly, what are you really getting back in return?